5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Science has always been regarded as a powerful tool for understanding the universe and improving human life. It is the foundation of medicine, technology, agriculture, and countless other fields that have elevated the standard of living across the world. However, there exists a darker side to scientific advancement, one that raises serious ethical and environmental concerns. When science is used without consideration for its impact on nature and the delicate balance of ecosystems, it becomes something more dangerous than beneficial. Science which leads to harm the environment is not science in its truest form, but a curse disguised as progress. The essence of science lies in inquiry, discovery, and innovation. Its purpose is to reveal the truths of nature, to harness knowledge for the betterment of all living beings. True science aligns with the natural world rather than disrupting it. Yet, when scientific achievements are pursued purely for power, profit, or domination, they often leave behind a trail of destruction. Whether it is the unchecked use of chemicals, the relentless extraction of natural resources, or the development of harmful technologies, such practices reveal a misuse of science. When the application of scientific knowledge results in poisoned rivers, degraded soil, polluted air, and extinct species, it is no longer a blessing but a curse that threatens life itself. One of the most significant examples of science turned harmful is the development and use of synthetic chemicals. Pesticides and fertilizers were once hailed as revolutionary breakthroughs in agriculture. They promised to increase crop yields, reduce hunger, and create more efficient farming methods. However, over time, the negative effects of these chemicals have become undeniable. They seep into the soil, contaminate water sources, and disrupt the health of both humans and animals. The excessive reliance on chemical solutions has led to the decline of bees and other pollinators, which are essential for food production. Far from solving hunger, this version of science has created a cycle of dependency and ecological imbalance. Industrialization, driven by scientific and technological innovation, has also played a central role in environmental destruction. Factories powered by fossil fuels release enormous quantities of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This contributes to climate change, causing rising temperatures, melting glaciers, and unpredictable weather patterns. Forests are cut down to make room for factories, roads, and cities. Oceans are polluted with plastic waste and chemical runoff. These are not natural consequences, but the result of choices made through the misuse of scientific knowledge. A science that overlooks the long-term impact of its actions cannot be seen as true science. It is a blind pursuit that values immediate gains over the health of the planet. The invention and widespread use of plastic is another example of science gone astray. Originally developed as a convenient and durable material, plastic quickly became a staple in everyday life. However, its durability has become a curse rather than a blessing. Plastic does not decompose easily, and as a result, it accumulates in landfills, oceans, and even the bodies of living organisms. Marine animals die after consuming plastic waste, and microplastics have entered the food chain, posing serious health risks to humans. Moreover, scientific research in the field of nuclear energy has led to outcomes that continue to haunt humanity. While nuclear energy can generate large amounts of electricity with relatively low emissions, it also produces radioactive waste that remains dangerous for thousands of years. Accidents at nuclear power plants have caused irreversible damage to ecosystems and human populations. Genetic engineering, particularly in agriculture, offers another controversial example. Scientists have modified crops to resist pests, grow faster, and tolerate harsh conditions. While this may seem like a step forward, the results have not been entirely positive. Genetically modified crops often require more water and chemical inputs, and they can reduce biodiversity by displacing traditional plant varieties. Scientific exploration of outer space has also begun to raise environmental concerns. The launch of satellites and spacecraft creates space debris that orbits the Earth indefinitely. These objects pose risks to future missions and can fall back to the planet, potentially causing damage. Furthermore, rocket launches release gases and particles into the upper atmosphere, where they can interfere with natural processes. Another troubling aspect is the unequal distribution of environmental harm caused by scientific and technological advancement. Wealthier nations often develop and benefit from new technologies, while poorer regions bear the burden of environmental damage. Toxic waste from industrial processes is frequently dumped in countries with weaker environmental regulations. This reflects not only an ethical failure but a scientific one. A science that contributes to inequality and environmental injustice cannot claim to be noble or enlightened. At its core, science should be about harmony, balance, and respect for life. When used responsibly, it can solve problems, heal the sick, and improve the quality of life for all beings. However, when it is used recklessly or selfishly, it becomes a force of destruction. A science that destroys the very foundation of life on earth cannot be separated from the curse it brings. The solution lies in returning to the true spirit of science. This means developing technologies that work with nature, not against it. It means prioritizing sustainability, protecting biodiversity, and respecting the interconnectedness of all living things. Scientific research must be guided by ethics, compassion and foresight. Instead of exploiting the planet for short-term gain, scientists and policymakers must collaborate to ensure that their actions support the long-term health of the Earth. Science is not inherently good or bad. Its value lies in how it is applied. Used wisely, it can be a source of enlightenment and progress. Used recklessly, it becomes a curse that threatens future generations. The choice is ours to make. We must recognize that science, which leads to harm the environment, is not true science. It is a distorted shadow of what science is meant to be. Only by aligning scientific progress with environmental responsibility can we transform this curse back into a blessing. Stop.